Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the live stream. Welcome, welcome. Today we're going to be talking about the best way to learn to code, or the fastest way, or the most effective way. Is there a way? Hey, what's up, Emilio? 758K. What's up, Mr. Ayushahan, Tion, Hosinja Mirak, Navas Bitek Meti, Johnny, what's up? Deepak, the underscore, and what's up? Hey, everybody. We're going to talk some code today. Privyet, Andre. What's up, David? David, you should have got access to the Academy and a message from Jason. Hola. From Rick Martinez. Moshin, evil Namekian. Ooh, evil Namekian, like King Piccolo, perhaps. What's up, everybody? Today we're going to talk about, hey, what's up, Deepak from Nepal. We're going to talk about learning to code today, just some effective ways to do it, practical ways to do it, how to have the most success, things like that. Feel free to drop any questions. Also, wherever you're from, post it in the chat. I'd love to know where you're from. Yep. The evil Namekian says, the best way to learn to code is by practicing and trying things out. Yeah, we'll dive into that a little bit today. We'll dive into that. Goat coder. Reading documentation of language is probably one of my favorite ways to learn how to code. Though for entry level, your courses are great, as well as Code Academy and Free Code Camp. Virginia, nice. From the Big Apple. That always, whenever I hear the Big Apple, it always reminds me of that game I used to play in like 1995, the Ninja Turtles. Not Turtles in Time. Or was it Turtles in Time? Anyway, the level would start and it'd be like, the Big Apple. And then your turtle would appear and you start fighting the bad guys. Albany, New York. Yo. I'm from Turkey. Welcome. Nashville, Tennessee. Matt Bell Music. Woodland, California. You have a girlfriend, question mark. Yep. Lesh Ao. Hi from South Africa. Abhish Grey Hat. Java Brains is good. I don't even know what that is. Elizabeth, Java Brains. But let's talk about this, learning to code. I'm going to tell you a story. I've been doing this for a really long time. Coding, teaching, learning, teaching myself. So right now, I've been writing books. I wrote my first book. My Kickstarter's going on right now. You can check it out. Search Google, Kickstarter, The Last Hacker. That's my book. So one of the next things I want to do is try and get my book into comic, specifically manga. So I'm learning. I'm learning some new things right now. I know how to draw to a degree, but I'm not good enough. And here's what happens. So someone earlier mentioned fiddling around, messing around, coding, trying things. That does help. It absolutely does help. But here is the problem that I'm currently encountering on my own. There's no DevSlopes Academy for manga. Like, manga is Japanese comics, and there's no DevSlopes Academy for that. There's nothing out there. I've searched extensively. What I am doing is every evening I spend an hour just drawing, but I've got no curriculum, no structure. I'm drawing, I'm doing, but I have no way to gauge. And then sometimes I get stuck in this rut where I'll watch tons of courses, like 5 courses in a row, but then I don't actually do anything. I'm just watching courses. And so it's a nightmare in both worlds. In one world, I'm doing things without direction, so I don't know how close I'm getting. In the other world, I'm learning from the professionals, but not actually doing. And so what I've learned in all my years of teaching and doing programming is that the absolute best way to learn to code, okay, is to have end project in mind. So a very specific end project that you're working on, all right, something that you want to build. And secondly, is have the path put in front of you that you need to get there. Now, this is not a sales pitch for DevSlopes Academy. This is why DevSlopes Academy exists, but here's the reality. If you just keep taking courses, you will never do. You will keep taking courses. And tutorial hell does exist. Goat Coder says yes. Wow, tutorial hell exists in both learning how to code and learning how to make manga. It does exist. You need, all of us, we need the light at the end of the tunnel. That's what we need. You need the light at the end of the tunnel. You also need the path to get there. And when I say the path to get there, specifically, you need an expert, whoever that is, or a document, a snippet document, anything, but you need an expert to tell you how to get there. Imagine how different my learning experience would be with manga if somebody said to me, okay, Mark, in week 1, I want you to draw 300 heads, character heads. In week 2, I want you to draw 300 bodies. Send them to me to review them. In week 3, I want you to learn how to do motion. I want you to put characters in motion. In week 4, we're going to dive into inking. And keep in mind, you're going to need to draw 15 full inked pages. If I don't have a plan in something that I'm learning, I'm going to continually be learning over and over and over and over again. Okay? It is so critical. Cat hair, sorry. It is so critical that you have somebody give you a plan of where you want to be, preferably a person who is where you want to be. Because courses are not enough. I was just on LinkedIn Learning, and they have 16,000 courses, right? I was looking at some technical stuff just for fun. And you just watch videos, endless amounts of videos, and you do nothing. Think of it this way. If you watch LeBron James play basketball, does that mean when you step on the court, you're able to play basketball? Now, let's say you know you need to practice and you go on the basketball court. What do? Dribble 1,000 times, take 1,000 shots? How do you actually gauge your progress? That's the problem with learning to code. So, going back to comments made earlier, so building and doing, it can help you, but without direction, if you have a bunch of tools in front of you, and wood and nails and glue and hammers and saws, and someone says to you, here's all the stuff I want you to build, I wouldn't know what to do. What am I supposed to do with all of this crap? But if somebody said, hey, you want to be a carpenter? These are your tools. Step 1, build a birdhouse. Step 2, build a garden box. Step 3, you're going to build a tree house. You see where I'm going with this? You have to have this with learning to code. You have to have the steps for learning to code. Otherwise, like a student who came to me the other day who recently joined the academy, they had been learning iOS development for 4 years, learning to code on their own for 4 years. And what he said was, in retrospect, I would gladly have paid thousands of dollars to have someone just push me through this like in a year. Like, a lot of us spend lots of time over and over doing the same things and never making progress. You need a light at the end of the tunnel, which is the career or the thing that you want to do. Having a project you want to build can really help with that, like an app or a startup. You need the path. Someone needs to give you the path that you need to learn, okay? The path. All right? And then 3, accountability. Like, you can do it with just the project or the end goal and the path, but where it really gets exciting is with accountability. Having somebody who is coaching you and pushing you forward and moving you, that is the absolute fastest way to learn. I cannot stress this enough. You could actually take away all of the videos in the courses. You could do it all even just through reading, so long as you had the projects and you had the coach and you had the path. Let me look at some of these comments here. I've been chatting for a long time. Reading documentation is definitely useful. It can be hard for beginners, for sure. Privyet from Moldova. Can you read my last name? Gordus. Virgin. Yeah, okay. Am I still into crypto? I am to a degree. I want to put more time in blockchain and crypto. I just can't right now. Um, can you explain how to calculate complexity of an algorithm if you want, of course? Yeah, time complexity. It's a very complicated subject, but it is important to know how fast algorithms run. Like, you wouldn't want to put something in an array if you needed to, if you didn't know where it was going to be in the array and you'd have to iterate through a million records to find it every single time. There's better algorithms for that, better data structures. So it is important. Um, what do you think of coding boot camps? Okay, so coding boot camps are really great for young, ambitious people who are able to quit their job and do it. I was just looking at Coding Dojo's website, like literally an hour ago, and they teach some really cool stuff. But do you want to know what their website said? Our most, quote, our most successful students are full time and spend 70 hours a week learning and coding. Our most successful students are full time and spend 70 hours a week coding. I don't know about you, but I would never have been able to quit my job, abandon my family, and go to a 4-month boot camp. I would have been able to do that. So is that program effective? If you were spending 70 hours a week programming, you can be sure you're going to have an amazing experience. Okay, so boot camps can be helpful. Can be. That's Coding Dojo. I think they're better than some of the other ones. Most of the boot camps are 15 to 20 to even $38,000 if you go to Lambda school. Okay, you'll go there, and not counting Lambda school because that is a longer program, but most boot camps, they end. They end in 4 months, and it's not enough time. They cram in a bunch of stuff, a lot of full stack. It's always full stack, all the front end and the full stack. You won't necessarily use the full stack on the job, but you're exposed to it. It's not enough time, and you get cut off without coaching. So boot camps can be effective if you're young and you do it full time and you can quit your job to go do it for 4 months. You're going to have success because you're spending 40 to 70 hours a week doing it, okay? Otherwise, it's very difficult. Let's not even talk about colleges. Colleges are a waste of time. Hey, Mark, just wanted to ask how many hours did you learn back when you started? Brazard, I was coding every single day. So I had a full-time job that was not programming. I would literally get up at 5 a.m. From 5 to 7. I would study for 2 hours. I would actually read and do. There was no videos at the time. It was all reading. Hey, what's up, everyone? What's up, Zenu? So I would read. Then I'd go to work all day. When I got off work, I'd spend a couple hours with my family and my young children at the time. And then I would spend until midnight. Okay, I would spend till midnight actually coding. And it was hard. It was frustrating. It was hard. I struggled severely. I had no help. I had nothing, but I pushed through it. I went through one book multiple times. Like the concept of even what a variable was. Like I couldn't grasp it. I went through this book multiple times. So I did that. So keep in mind, I had programmed prior to that on my own. I had just figured out, I had built this database for a company and had been paid to do that. But in terms of formal learning, this is when I started that process. And I did that for 6 months straight before I got my first job. I did it all on my own, without help, without coaching. So I spent a lot of time. It was many, many hours. I did that 6 days a week. So many, many hours. Sorry if I'm missing all the comments here. We're just talking code, how to get rid of insomnia. Oh boy, that can be hard if you're learning to code. Yeah, that much learning. Yeah, Johnny, I was mentioning at Coding Dojo, they said their best students spend 70 hours a week. That was my same thoughts. That much learning, you're not going to keep all the information. That's information overload for sure. People should take it slow. You know, do it over 8 months, and you'll have much more peace of mind, have much more success. What's up? Shoot your shot. What's up? Zaida Kabu. I'm working 43 hours a week, and if you're working full time, it's hard to learn to code. That's why at the DevSlips Academy we have everyone do 3 hours a day, and you realistically 6 to 8 months you could start getting paid projects, and without dying and having stress. So do you recommend coding dojo? No, Daniel. I recommend DevSlopes Academy. Daniel, go to devslopes.com/apply, and I will personally work with you one-on-one to help you have success. And it's like way cheaper too. Um, Come work with me at DevSlopes Academy. We teach iOS development, Android development, and web development, and we'll work with you one-on-one. Guaranteed success. Guaranteed for paid work. Come work with me. Um, Laravel or Django? I don't use PHP. I don't like it. I think it's antiquated. I think it's cool that they introduced Laravel, but someone's asking, Ali's asking Laravel versus Django. Definitely Django. Django's going to do a whole lot of things for you, and it's a lot cleaner. And Python, I think, is a better language. That's my opinion. What do you think about freelancing as a hustle when with a full-time job? I do recommend doing that when you have a full-time job, taking on a few projects. That's going to get you real-world experience, and that'll morph over time. It could eventually replace your full-time job. Yeah. Let's see. Bug bounty. Any free website? I've got free coding courses at devslopes.com, or just go to Udemy, Ali. Let's see. Computer science degree. Yeah. 5 days or 7 days a week, 3 hours. What is RX Swift? Just heard about it. It's React. It's RX Swift is reactive programming, declarative programming, but it's not needed, Rick. With Swift UI, it's completely pointless. And Combine, it's a completely pointless now. Use Combine. Do you have special price for third world countries? DevSlopes Academy does. We have international pricing. Every country and region is priced accordingly. Game development, C++ or C#. Nishant, if you want to go work at a AAA game studio, Call of Duty, things like that, you got to learn C++, and you got to be a master at it. They don't hire juniors. They're really rude about it that way. You got to be a pro level. So if you want to start building games now, your own indie games, I would recommend C# and Unity. Much faster, easier to get into. What do you think about Fast API? I've heard about this before. I'm going to look at this because I'm doing some API stuff right now. I'll take a look at it. I can't answer that question though, because I don't know. Do you have? Angular's becoming big. Angular's been growing. It has a home just like React does. There are great opportunities for both. Yeah, yeah. Got through all the questions. um, so going back to learning how to code, if you are stuck in tutorial hell, if you are watching endless courses and feel like you aren't going anywhere, here's what I recommend that you do. Write this down. 1, stop fiddling and pick a learning path, okay? Stop fiddling and pick a learning path or career path. Pick iOS development, Android development, front-end web development, or back-end web development, or games, whatever. Pick a career path. Okay? Stop fiddling, pick a career path. Step number 2. I'm on both screens here. Step number 2. Okay? You picked your career path. The next thing that you need to do is build out the curriculum for that path. So you're going to research the path. For instance, if you say, I want to be a mobile game developer, you're going to do research. And what you're going to find is you need to master C# and you need to master Unity. And so you're going to go build out curriculum for that. How do I master Unity? How do I master C#? You're going to build yourself out a curriculum for that. That might be a series of courses, but most importantly, we're going to go to step number 3 now. Okay, step 3. You need to pick a project you're going to build. So step 1 is stop fiddling and pick the career path. Step 2 is choose your curriculum. Step 3 is you pick the project you're going to build. You have to have this. This is the key ingredient here. The project, your passion project, not a project that your teacher gave you on some online course, whatever. A project you're passionate about, a game, an app, a website, something that's beyond your skill. Because what's going to happen is you're going to be learning the things you need to learn to build that thing, and the information is going to stick. I'm going to give you a little tip here. For those of you who don't know if you're ready for a job, I'll give you some real practical advice if you're teaching yourself on your own. If you can interface with APIs, you've got it mastered. You know how to tap into any API. You know how to do authentication. You know all about JSON web tokens. You know how to parse JSON and put it in your views. If you know all of that stuff inside and out, you are ready to take on your first job. If any of these things that I said to you don't make sense, you're not ready. I'll say it again. Here's a tip. How do you know if you're ready, if you're learning on your own? If you can interface with APIs with no problem, you've got it mastered. You can do it in minutes. You've got JSON mastered. You know how to parse JSON, pull it in. You know how to make a post request, a get request. You know what JSON web tokens are. You know how to do authentication. If you know these things, you are ready to start applying for your first job. Okay. Again, if you don't know what any of those things are, you're not ready. I'll just keep it real simple for you. Now, if you want help, here's my sales pitch. If you want help, if you want me and my team to create the path for you, to give you the direction, the career path, the curriculum, to keep you accountable, looking at your projects, grading them, giving you the projects to build, giving you that light at the end of the tunnel, cheering you on, and then working with you after to get the job so you don't even have to think. You can do this while you're working a full-time job. So if you don't want to have to think about any of this stuff, you can join the DevSlopes Academy. You can apply, devslopes.com/apply, and I'll work with you one-on-one. That's the fast pass. I just gave you all the secrets, though, if you want to do it on your own. If you want to do it on your own, that's what you got to do. I gave you the steps. Hey, what's up? Gray Hat from London. Ali from Iran. Hey, what's up? Donut. C++ is hard. It is very hard. It is worth it. What do I think about PWA, progressive web apps? I think they're great. I think, especially with the big companies doing so much censorship right now, I think it's ever increasingly more important to look at solutions that don't involve the Apple App Store or Google Play Store, creating experiences that don't require submission to big companies, because as we've seen, big companies, if they don't like what you are doing or what you believe in, they can just kick you off the store just like that. So be careful. Be careful working with AWS. Be careful with all these things. So PWAs are very, have a very valid use case for a lot of reasons. Hello from India. What's up? Ayush, I'm disturbed by distractions. Please help. That's a very hard thing. You need to get rid of your phone. You need to lock yourself in a room for 2 hours. Mehdi, if you go back to zero, what is the path that you're going to take with programming languages? I probably would have less focus on mobile myself because I'm an entrepreneur. And as an entrepreneur, I need to do lots of things. I need to get email forms up, lead forms. I need to build apps real fast, web apps real fast. I need to hack things together. JavaScript would be what I'd go back and do right from the ground up. JavaScript and React and Node, because I can do anything. I can do front end, back end, mobile apps. I can do everything on my own and build businesses. So yeah. David's asking, what is PWA? What's a progressive web app? A progressive web app is an app that has like native style features for mobile, but doesn't actually, so it can like use your phone camera and all those different things, but does not require the Apple App Store or Google Play Store. It allows a web app to work just like a desktop app, but it's all web technologies. And ideally, it's not delivered. Ideally, in a perfect world, you wouldn't want to deliver it through a store. Some people do deliver their progressive web apps. They create a shell app on Google Play or Apple, and then everything else is just built with web technologies. You can do that, but I really like the notion of being able to use a mobile phone's full technology without having to use the app stores. So they're basically like responsive websites on steroids, where like instead of just, oh yeah, let's make it also work on mobile, like it's very focused on mobile, all of the features, accelerometer, things like that. As a beginner, do I need to dive deep into HTML, CSS for front-end development, or just the basics enough? Yeah, you need to dive in deep. You need to dive in JavaScript deep. At the academy, we'd go to advanced levels on HTML and CSS and JavaScript because um, there's a lot of crappy developers out there, and they're everywhere. You need to be able to stand above those developers. You need to be really great with this stuff. Don't look at it as a side thing. Look at it as something that you're very serious about. I'm learning JavaScript now, says Dark Slayer. Great. I've been learning web dev since July 2020. I have a full-time job and a 20-month-old, so I can't code every day. Would DevSub still help me? Why can't you code every day? That doesn't make sense to me. I understand you're tired and stuff, but consistency is key in this game. It really is. Yes, you could do the DevSubs Academy. If you had to like skip a day, you could only work 4 days. I don't know what your shift is, but I really recommend consistently 5 days in a row. That's just 2 hours a day. So DevSubs can help you in any case, but for your own sake and keeping the speed going and being consistent, set a time in your schedule somehow to do 2 hours a day. Consistency is key in learning to code. If you can't be consistent, it doesn't matter where you go, you won't have the success you're looking for. 5 days in a row, even if it's an hour a day, having the days in a row is more important necessarily than doing 3 days with extra time and 3 days off, because your brain needs the repetition every single day. Again, you could do it 3 days a week and more time, but I think more days and more consistency is more important. What you're thinking on Flutter for beginners? Flutter's great. Sure, get started there. I mean, you should do that if you want to build freelance apps or build your own apps. There's not really full-time jobs for Flutter. How good should my CSS be for me to land a job? You're not going to get a job just doing CSS and HTML. Those jobs hardly exist. There's a few here and there every now and then, but you need to, Nader, you need to master CSS, master HTML, and master JavaScript. If you don't have those 3 things mastered, you're not going to get a job. Is Python good? Yeah, Python's great. It's one of the most popular programming languages in the world right now. How long is the part-time? I'm not sure what you're asking. If you're talking about DevSubs Academy, you can do it, 2 to 3 hours a day, in 6 months or so, and have a lot of success. Is PWA stored in phone memory? No, not at all. It's all browser-based. Programming this job when we retire 40 years old, 50 years old. I don't know. Whatever you want. It's like anything else, I guess. Where should I learn about crypto? Do you have any link? I don't. Do you use Stack Overflow to solve a bug? I hardly ever use Stack Overflow anymore. I like solving things on my own. I mean, I do use it occasionally, but yeah. I mean, it's fine if you want to use Stack Overflow, though. Django with React is a good stack? No. Django is a full-blown suite of tools, and it's really focused on templating, where you inject the data into the HTML and it does server-side rendering. Now, if you just did the Django API only, where it's only the API, and then you had a React frontend, that's fine. But Django and React don't mix together. They're separate tools. So I might recommend that you use Flask, Python and Flask for your API, and use React for your frontend. But Django does templating, where it's not React at all. It's where you insert data into your HTML and CSS and you render it from a server if you want to template from Django. Most applications these days, most user-facing big applications, they have the front end separated from the back end. Django mixes those together. PHP and Laravel mix those together. So Django's great, but I would just use the APIs, the API stuff, not the templating stuff. Next.js or Ruby on Rails? Are you meaning Nest for like Node? They kind of do the same thing. Ruby on Rails is definitely more popular. So, hey, how you doing? Says Night Hunter. I'm doing good. Yo, how good? Okay, JS or TS? Definitely TypeScript. Your code will be much better in TypeScript. In fact, I'm building out a backend academy right now, and everything on the Node JavaScript side is all TypeScript. TypeScript. So many companies use it. It's so important to learn. It's going to make your code better and more bug-free. You should check out Code Sandbox. It's good for front-end web development. Best language for a full-time job? Oh my gosh, I can't even answer that. There's so many. Oh my gosh. People. All right, you are blocked. Goodbye. I have no experience in coding. I have Python on my laptop, but it's okay to dive into Kali Linux. Yeah, sure. How do I know if I've already mastered HTML, CSS, and JavaScript? If you can make API requests, you can tap into any API with JavaScript, and you can download JSON, and you can parse it, and you can show it in your web app. If you can do that, you're good to go. Start applying for jobs. Do you get the same lesson mentor help with part-time compared to full? At DevSlopes Academy, we don't have a part-time or full-time. You get full mentorship regardless of the amount of time you put into it. So I don't know if you're talking about something else, but we have one program with coaching, and we recommend 2 to 3 hours per day. But if you only put an hour in a day, you're still going to get the same coaching that you get from the 3 hours. Demon Slayer or Jujutsu Kaisen? I don't like Demon Slayer. I like Attack on Titan. I like Hunter x Hunter. I've been watching Evangelion lately, but Demon Slayer. What do you think about automating web development? I'm not sure what you mean by that. Can we ship PWA for iOS without putting on the App Store? You absolutely can. That's one of the beauties of PWAs. Difference between React and React Native. React Native is for mobile apps. Fastest job, Android or iOS? Yeah, whatever you like more. They're both the same. I need that cap. I can see myself getting them numbers in the cap. All right. If you want the cap, it's right here. Coderswag.com. You can get the cap right there. Hey Mark, Brianna, I just discovered your channel today. I'm looking to make a change in my career and pursue coding. I'm excited to start your program with DevSlopes Academy. Oh, awesome, cool. Yeah, I don't know if you're joining or if you're going to join, but devslopes.com/apply, and we can get on the phone and chat. How long have you been coding? I have been coding professionally since 2007. Yeah, crypto. I don't know where you can go to learn about crypto. Node.js, C# or Java for backend. Which one are more in demand for the future? Those are all in demand. So Java and C#, those are enterprise level. So C# would be .NET Core, Java, Spring Boot. Those are all enterprise. If you want an enterprise job, those are going to be there forever. Node, there's tons of jobs for that as well too. You're going to find a lot of opportunities in all those things. If you're going to learn Node, I might recommend also adding Python in your learning tool belt because you may have to use both. For coding, I have changed lifestyle. Sleeping early, no alcohol. Now I have difficulty in adjusting with society. Hey, welcome to the club. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. Learn React after JS or TypeScript first. Learn React. Learn TypeScript last. How to master front end on web dev and where to start building projects for front end web dev. I don't know where you go to build projects, but what you surely could do is pick a big project like I'm going to build Airbnb or I'm going to build Uber, and you actually go and you rebuild it from scratch. How many hours a day should I work to get my goal faster? Honestly, like those boot camps will have you doing it 8 hours a day, but that's kind of overload. 3 hours is good. 3 hours is good. Is it hard to start making a game solo? Depends on the game. I always think it's funny when people message me and say, hey Mark, I want to take your Unity course or your Unreal course because I want to build an MMO. And I'm just like, stop right there. You're not going to build an MMO. MMOs cost $100 million to make. You're not going to build it. Just stop. Just stop. You can't. You can't. It is impossible. Why do you have to start with an MMO? Why can't you start with a little mobile game or something simple? Why does it have to be an MMO? Why do you have to create the next MMO that's going to suck? MMOs all suck. Just make something else. Why does it have to be an MMO? Oh my gosh. So make a solo. Lots of people make solo games. Just make it small. Do you think QA can help benefit from some development? Yeah, if you're a QA developer, that's going to help your resume. I have to get back to the front end classes. Took a break to learn Angular. Okay. Is solving problems on Project Euler useful? Oh yeah, for your algorithms. It'll help you think like a programmer. Yep. Can I build iOS apps by learning React Native? Yes, you can. I might get the DevSlopes beanie. Do it. I don't even have a DevSlopes beanie. I need to get one. Can you please explain shortly Firebase? Firebase is a great back-end database system for mobile apps, specifically for mobile apps. It's so you can actually use your existing programming language with the SDK to tap in and use databases without having to learn how to do back-end development. It's really cool for that. Great for your own app or prototypes, things like that. Maybe not so great at scale. Can I learn Java, Kotlin, Flutter, Node.js, and JavaScript? If you want. I wouldn't recommend learning all those things at once. Learn C or C Sharp. Definitely C Sharp if you want to get a job fast. 8 hours is too much. Yes, I think so. Is there a host? Is there a hosting a website for free? I host everything on Netlify lately. That's pretty awesome. I think they have a free plan or cheap plan. Kotlin versus Java. Definitely Kotlin for Android. Google is Kotlin first now. They do not want you to develop apps in Java. You said you meditate in the morning. Can you tell me about it? It's nothing strange or weird. I wake up right away, and I don't get on my phone. I don't get distracted by anything. I put my phone on the counter, and I just study scriptures, and I pray for quite a bit. That's what I do, and then I sit there afterwards, and I just kind of think. I literally just think, clear my mind. It could be about business, life, whatever. I just clear my mind. I'm not stressing out. I'm not trying to solve problems. That's the thing. I'm not trying to solve problems. I just get my mind ready for the day, and that's it. Nothing special. How long ago did this live start? I have friends who want to learn coding for making video games. I can send them the link for this. Yeah, it'll end. It's on YouTube. It'll end soon. It's ending real soon. iOS versus Android, which makes earn more? In the United States, iOS developers make a little bit more than Android developers. Worldwide, that's not necessarily the case. Like in India or Pakistan, you're gonna have opportunities for both, especially on probably more so on Android. So. All right, everybody. This was a great chat. I'm going to wrap this up. This is going kind of long here, but this has been a really great discussion. You can apply for the DevSlips Academy at devslips.com/apply. If you want to check out my book, The Last Hacker, it's on Kickstarter right now, fully funded. I wrote a sci-fi novel. Kickstarter, just go to Kickstarter and search for The Last Hacker. But apply for DevSlips, and I'll work with you one-on-one, guaranteed success. So, yeah, is it true if you learn one language, the others are easier to learn? Yep, it is absolutely true. Will you upload this video? Yeah, this video is going to be here on YouTube. Thanks, everyone.